starting in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Four Pixels. Cuckoo is here with Saku and Rosh, and we are continuing Ace Attorney investigations.
Hello.
Hello.
I am ready for continuations of investigations and other things that end with Asian.
Good
Penetration.
vibrations.
Oh, good vibration. Oh, penetration. Honestly. You just take one look at Edgeworth's face and that's what you think of.
Well, I was thinking of the Beach Boys. I don't know what Coco was on about.
Leave her alone, it's her birthday. Well, okay then, puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime. But why? I thought that was Slenderman for a second then. I didn't realize his hat was down.
Oh, I see it now.
Now the crime scene is as it was the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. Ooh, what are we looking at now?
Yes. These handprints belong to the victim, right? They make sense for the body position.
Yes. He must have left them when he was trying to support himself after he was shot. However, the final position of the body shows that it was moved. I need to go over this crime scene with a fine-tooth comb one more time. One more time. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be.
And we figured out that the killer went through your bookshelf twice.
Indeed. There are many things the killer did that don't make sense. But to figure out the whys, we need more information.
Leon! Oh, okay.
She's not going to help us. There must be some reason as to why the victim's body was moved. There is no time to ponder that now. Let us continue with our investigation, detective.
Roger that, sir. I'm raring to go.
Gumshoe's always raring to go. What is this strange squiggly wigglyation? This.
Well, what is that? Why does it say Gumshoe on there in blood?
I'd say it's some pretty incriminating evidence.
Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed.
No, wait, there's got to be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, say something, sir.
It appears that one of my files was stolen.
Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation?
Is this what the killer was really after? He's so irate. Look at his chest heaving.
Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party.
What, Phoenix is here?
If you are going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit,
Sir.
I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up.
Jim's words. They're more than enough, wouldn't you say?
If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reason.
You got it.
I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. And several other things. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Tap, tap, I'm pressing my logic button.
Mr. Edgeworth, What are you going to do?
What I always do in court. Sorry. I'll just chuckle to myself about that. I'm going to cross-examine him. That thing I always do in court. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique.
Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain it to me, sir?
Yeah, we already know how this works.
Well, Mr. Portsmouth, if you remember. You just ignore Gumshoe.
Does it even say, not right now, Gumshoe? It's just straight up, yes, Mr.
Like, you're not even here. I'm not even looking at you. I'm just looking through you right now.
Aw, if you don't have time, you could just say so, sir.
Gosh, Gumshoe, you deserve.
I know.
Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice.
Nah. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer.
What the fuck is this, Danganronpa?
I can hear Jim's voice, and he's calling for his killer's arrest.
Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There is no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence,
Dun, dun, dun.
like a boss.
Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead.
I'll be pressing them every time.
Press everything! You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask.
What is it?
Where did you get that fabulous top?
We can trade.
Why do you call the victim Jim, when clearly his name is Buddy Faith?
Isn't it obvious? Jim is the perfect name for my companion. Jack and Jim. Don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jam?
Jack and John more. But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name.
Whatever, Bob. Or Jack and Buddy just sounds off somehow.
What about Buddy and Jack?
Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim.
He talks about the victim like he was his pet.
Well, some folk are into that.
Sit, Gumshoe.
Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead.
Hold it. Do you really think it was necessary to disheave my shelves twice to do that? Oh, dishevel. I didn't see the L there.
That's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft.
Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth?
It's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle.
I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals every day, pal! Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but...
Well, they are square.
Poor thing. What an evil prosecutor you were paired up with. And what a motive, no?
I mean, just look at Gladio from Final Fantasy 15. All he eats is noodles and he's fine.
He's very square-shaped too.
It's a joy you can sit on. Anyway.
Uh-huh.
That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf.
Nope. And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing?
Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding.
Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? I like to think that was because he was very British and not saying the bloody letters.
The body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. But, judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for your detective to miss something.
Who do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal.
Yeah.
There's a lot a person can understand about another from first impressions alone.
I can't say I disagree with him on that point.
Oh. Why don't you say something, sir? No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it with evidence.
I couldn't ask for a better setup. For the game-finishing spike.
And
And
shut
it will
up.
be by his final words that you will be brought to justice.
Are you saying that those letters were intended for you?
Yep. Jim was an outstanding detective. I would expect no less from my former partner.
It looks like Mr. Portsmouth still doesn't understand. He has yet to figure out the true meaning behind the bloody letters.
What are you sputtering over there? Can't you just admit my logic is perfectly sound?
Actually, there's a gigantic flaw in his logic. A gap so wide that even the good detective can spot it. Don't know what that says about Gumshoe. Now to clue Mr. Portsman in by presenting him with some evidence. Evidence! Okay,
Bum, bum,
which one are we presenting on? This one?
Well, let me just show you the evidence real quick in case you guys need a
bum.
reminder.
Delicious donut. Crime scene notes. The bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen.
Fun times.
Only one shot fired. Only they know about them. One of the files that was written upon in blood was stolen by the culprit.
Nasty! Nasty criminals doing nasty crimes. I don't know. I've forgotten how to play these games. Yeah.
Need me
is
to...
it-
No.
I mean, everything this guy says is suspicious. It's really hard to pick just one thing that he's saying is wrong. Rosh, say something. You do it.
It's 10:05. I'm tired.
Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsmouth. There is a serious flaw in your logic that some people are not aware of either.
Bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game.
I can't help but find it odd.
Excuse me?
Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office.
What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking, I get it.
If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. My steel samurai figure. Do you not
It's
see?
not mine.
If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file?
What? That's impossible!
What's impossible, Mr. Portsman?
Nothing.
The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spine.
It's possible that he could have taken the file before committing the murder.
I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's name where the file should be is proof.
Yeah, I mean, the S is gone, and there's only half of an H!
If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the file. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood.
Which means... What exactly? Why does that make this dying message?
It makes it the work of a criminal intent of tampering with the crime scene.
That's so low! I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir! I'm gonna get them, sir! You'll see, I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time!
Well, Mr. Portsman,
Brilliant, absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold.
I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed.
Meh, you win some and you lose some. That's how life goes.
Everybody knows. Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive.
Ah, but you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however.
Well, what is it this time? Are you still after me, pal?
Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office?
That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal.
And that merited a flash of the nips. Innocent people just make my nipples hard.
That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence.
Good. Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? Stop talking with your nipples!
Well, I was just thinking. Did you know there's one other person with a key to this office?
One other person.
Hey, you there!
Yes, sir. What is it, sir?
Ah, so she is in this game. I had completely forgotten. Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me?
A lady. I've never seen one of those before.
The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness.
Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal. Don't.
What's wrong with him all of a sudden?
I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird as a member of security.
Detective Gumshoe, sir.
Maggie.
Miss Bird is in security guard on the watch tonight.
I see. And your point is...
My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key which can open all the office doors in this building.
What?
If you're not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe. Then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird.
How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room.
That's right. I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right. I did it. I'm Spartacus.
Can we take that as a confession, detective?
Oh, well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So, yeah, it was me. And if it was, you have no problems with that, right?
Please refrain from flying off the handle, detective. There's no need for such theatrics. I just said there's no need for theatrics.
Listen to your boss, detective. He understands what I'm saying here.
And he likes seeing this, don't you?
Oh yeah. That girl's the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason.
Oh my god, this isn't simple at all.
It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message.
So you're saying she used the master key?
Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say?
No, dude. That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well.
I mean, basically, that's what he said, yeah.
That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me.
Oh man, if I was Edgeworth, I'd have just punched him, man. Just to see if he had great reaction time. React to this, buddy. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsmouth to give me more details is to press him. Not the way I press Phoenix, but, you know.
It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key.
Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key?
There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight, she's it.
Gross.
Isn't that right, Miss Bird?
That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir.
Wasn't able to. What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, moving on. I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated.
What do you mean, unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal.
But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time.
Should I hear Miss Bird out?
Always.
Not so fast. I, too, am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say.
Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies.
I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please.
I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 AM, sir.
What do you mean by missing?
As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it.
Mr. Portsmouth, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you?
I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words.
I'm not lying, sir!
If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now.
I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir.
Ah, a likely story. And where's your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again.
I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it.
Yeah, pal, trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is.
Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive.
Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth.
But... You still haven't established Margie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe.
Giving your nipples a breather, are we?
Yeah.
It's as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. I can't ignore the fact that he keeps showing me his nipple. All the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. God damn it.
It's time to start
counter
giving them.
with a fact of my own. Oh god. His nipples are pointing towards the evidence.
Her intent, from the messed up shelves to the wiped down safe, I'd say thievery.
I concur that the culprit's motive appears to have been thievery. However,
Glad to hear that the great Miles Edgeworth is in agreement with little old me.
I am pretty great. However, with regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and safe,
Hey, good thinking. Ask for my opinion on the matter.
would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence?
Hey, what were we talking about? I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door.
I thought we had established Detective Gumshoe's innocence pretty thoroughly.
It was just a theory, one hypothesis among the many possibilities. I mean, I had my doubts about Miss Bird from the very beginning.
If that's the case, then why didn't you mention her first?
Now, don't make that face. See? There goes the truth running the other way. Let's pick up the pace and see if we can't catch up to it.
I don't think you're catching my drift.
Ah, but we are in agreement the detective isn't the killer, right? If so, then I hope you'll understand what I say.
Nipples out.
That since she's the only one who could have opened your office door,
Tits out for justice.
then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect.
Don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions?
Are you saying there's another way to open the door other than with the master key? Oh, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else.
I'll have you know I have never made a spare. So what are you insinuating?
Nothing. Guess I should have known better than to suggest that someone like you would. You don't have friends.
Phoenix.
Mm-mm.
Best friend forever.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence!
I would love to. But first we should listen a bit more and digest what he is saying. And pressing for more information. I'd like that.
Yeah, I think you missed the one just before the last one.
On top of which she doesn't. On top of which she knows our good detective, doesn't she?
Is there anyone in this district who hasn't at least heard of Detective Gumshoe? I mean, his name's Detective Gumshoe.
Good point. He's practically a celebrity among us prosecutors.
His name is Detective Detective.
Really? I never knew I was so talked about, sir.
We're holding our collective breath, you know. For when you screw up so badly that you're literally chased off the force.
Wait, what? Is that true, Mr. Edgeworth?
Of course not. That's hogwash.
Don't scare me like that. I almost had a heart attack there.
Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message.
By dying message, you mean the bloody letters that spell out Gumshoe.
I figured that whoever wrote his name must have wanted to frame him. And just the act of choosing his name is proof enough that the two knew each other well.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? I've already said this.
Yeah, and I'm still waiting. Okay.
Show us the things again. No, time for snooze. Anyway, sorry. Donut, bullet went clean through the body. What was the time? 2:05 AM. Okay. Issue to the victim believed in a woman shot fired. The ex-prosecutor is only one in their office. Only they know of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something?
And with that, we will end this episode right here. Thank you guys for joining us, and see you next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye!